What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I want to get into something. I'm going to play a video from Brandon Schwab, and I want you to hear what he had to say about Denotay Wilder and his excuses in his video, right? And as y'all know, Brandon Schwab did a interview before with Denotay Wilder. Like I said, they sat there and chopped it up and talked shit about Anthony Joshua and all that, and everybody, oh yeah, Brandon Schwab's a good dude. Yeah, yada yada. So I want to know if he's still a good dude to all the people who was praising him for giving Deontay that interview. Oh, and also before I do that, let me say salute. Shout out to my new family member Billy from New Zealand. Salute, New Zealand. Let me know where y'all from, man. I want to shout everybody when people watch my channel. I want them to understand we're breaking the barriers of racism here. We're boxing. This is what we want to talk about. But I salute everybody. And I show no favoritism. I show no bias. And that's just what I do. That's just who I am. Salute. Let me know where y'all are from. Let me know in the comments where you from. And I like to interact with people from all over, man. That's how you learn. That's how you grow, and I'm about unity. This is what I want right here. I don't want here, what's up from a distance? No. At least when people come on this channel, I want them to know this ain't about no charade. This ain't no game here. This ain't no. We're all human beings. So I call all y'all my brothers and sisters. That's we humans. You understand what I mean? And for somebody who made a comment about people being tribal, it's just no. Tribal and racist is two different things, okay? Tribal and racist are two different things. It's just like, for example, let's just say if you live in an area, and in that area you live in, whatever your nationality is, let's say there's another nationality down there. You don't have a problem with them, but for some reason, they want your blood. Well, you're going to stick with the people that you know got your back, right? But even though you don't want it to be that way, because you realize if I leave the pack, then, okay, it's just like when you see a pack of deers. They're all a bunch of little chicken shits. They're going to run from whatever animal approaches them, right? Well, from big predators anyway. But what happens? What do the predators do? They always single out the smallest one, right? And everybody else run. They catch the one that can't get away. Okay? So you want to talk about tribalism. That has nothing to do with racist. Racism and tribalism are two different things. And sometimes all it takes is for somebody to be the bigger person and just say, how you doing? And you'll see some people, oh shit, because they don't expect that. Sometimes people look at certain people because certain people treat them certain ways and they think everybody who look like that person has the same mentality. So no, don't tell me nothing about it's tribalism. I hear what you're saying, but no, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I agree with tribalism and racism have two completely different definitions. So no, we're not going to accept that shit, man. And when you say that, what it make you sound like you're saying is, oh, it's just nature. That's just how it is. Well, that's when you're talking to me and say everybody does the same shit. No, you're talking to somebody who doesn't. So I'm the X factor then. Put it that way. You're talking to somebody right here who doesn't do that shit. So you can't say everybody. And we don't know everybody. Okay? So we can't sit and say what everybody does. But if you accept that shit, then that's on you. But don't post comments as if you're trying to make it like, well, that's just the way it is. What's the problem? The problem is too many fucking people have no backbone and they don't want to shut that shit down. So enough on that. Let me play this video. Let y'all hear this for yourselves. What Brandon Schwab had to say about Denotay Wilder and his excuses.
Showtime, with Wilder, he's just going down the wrong path, man. You guys know I love Wilder. I stand by him. Fury's my favorite fighter in the world. But with Wilder, he fired his coach who threw in the towel, rightfully so. I think anyone who isn't in Wilder's pockets is going to agree that his coach made the brilliant decision to throw in the towel. He was just getting beat up, didn't have the skills to match Fury in that rematch. Fury just completely annihilated him, surprised him being the aggressor. And now Wilder, from what I hear, didn't want the rematch that was supposed to go down in December.
Not in December. He didn't want it.
He didn't. No, I heard he didn't want it at all. And then went from not wanting it at all to accusing Fury of a bunch of stuff, of loaded gloves. What else he's talking about? You have this brought
Something
up
about his water. Like,
oh my God! He's saying that something was wrong with his water. It's just such a bummer. This ain't the way to go, Wilder. This ain't the way to go. So he posted, "Fury, be a man. Fury, it's time for you to be a man on your agreement. What is this of you fighting Carlos to come instead of me? You got to be kidding. When you're going through your darkest time, I told you that if you ever got yourself together, I'd give you a title shot. Being man, my word, I give you the title shot, and he beat you both times. When that fight was a draw, I told you that I would give you a rematch. We had to. I was offered more money to fight Joshua than I was getting to fight you. And again, being a man of my word, I fought you. Like I said, in the rematch agreement, there was a rematch clause. Now,
But AJ ducked him. Remember that, right? AJ ducked him. Heard what he just said.
Time for you to be a man on your word instead of trying to weasel out of your agreement. Scared people run, but a scared man will break his contract, you coward.
do you want to see the video?
Play the video.
Yeah, it's very weird. There's
Yeah,
music,
the
too.
lighting and everything.
Everything.
Pause.
This watch I sold for
Silence is golden,
Is he in New York?
but my ears can still hear and my eyes can still see. The Bible also tells us to be swift to hear and slow to speak. You see, what you don't understand, thief, what you did is what my people deal with all the time. Someone cheating them from providing their greatness into the world. But
Bro,
it's a burden that we
you got beat fair and square.
So in the
There was
first
no
fight,
cheating
was
here.
pulling down your gloves to put your fist in the improper position.
Pause it real quick. So just so the fans know, and the fans on this show are educated, so you guys probably know this. So this is for the casual fan. The way gloves work.
Let me just pause. You hear how Brandon Schwab just said, the fans on this channel are educated, so they know how this works. See, that's why I want to acquire on my channel. People that even if you don't know, you have the ears to listen and learn and understand. I don't want the know-it-alls that want to come on here arguing and having their little feelings about bullshit. So like I said, I'll let my channel grow slowly but surely. I'm happy with the way my channel is growing and the people that I'm getting on there. But this is what you want. Not a bunch of freaking emotional, manic, depressive, I can't deal with this shit. You guys keep doing this and I'm hurting my feelings and you keep, because I'm going to say what I want to say anyway. But you see, that's what you want. You want a channel where you can get together and you're talking to equals. You're talking to other adults, people that have an understanding. Not a bunch of people in their feelings with a bunch of bullshit. Let's proceed.
In MMA and especially in boxing, is you pick out your glove prior, and then the commission takes the glove.
Yes.
You do not have access to that glove to the night of the fight when you walk into that locker room.
Right.
When you walk in the locker room, the commission comes back in, watch you wrap your hands, they check the gloves,
Mark 'em.
they watch you put the glove on. A cornerman from Wilder's team would have watched Fury also put the glove.
And they also mark the tape on your hands. So nothing can be tampered or you can't over tape it. Once it's finished, this is the final wrap. You can't add any more gauze, any more nothing. That's that. He didn't add that part, but that happens too. And they signed, so you can't tamper with it.
And check the gloves. So that whole narrative is out the window. No commission would let anything as far as packing the gloves or stripping the gloves of anything. And just so you know, if Fury did that, you're talking about the ultimate accusation, the ultimate price. There was a guy who did this years ago. If you remember, Margarito did this when he fought Cotto. Dude, you're talking lifelong suspension. You're talking about legal charges. So it's like these aren't like just light charges or accusations that he's making. Dude, take your whooping, own it, get better. If you think it's a coach, get a new team, work on your skills, come up with a better game plan to beat Fury. But I'm telling you, the way you're going now, saying they put something in your water, again, the water's all checked by commission as well. The water's checked by commission.
Pause.
Put in your water. And then what was the narrative before this? Oh, it's my heavy suit. The suit wore me out, so I went in there. I was exhausted.
But he didn't say that.
Bro, stop. The suit one was ridiculous. And now that time goes by, and Fury's like, dude, this guy's out of his mind. I'm going to move on. Now Wilder's saying, oh, he had loaded gloves. It was the water. It's like, come on, dude. Keep going.
Y'all tried the same method the second time, but this time you scratched flesh out of my ears, which caused my ears to bleed. It's impossible for a brand new 10-ounce glove to bend, to keep a smushed in form, or to have loose space. I highly believe you put something hard in your glove, something the size and the shape of an egg weight.
Now notice, Wilder said, I highly believe you put something hard in your glove. But didn't Marcellus Wilder say the doctor confirmed? Didn't Blue Blood say the doctor confirmed that there's no way a man's fist did that there was an object, okay, a blunt metal object that you was hit with? And what did he just say? I highly believe. I keep telling you guys, you don't have to say I believe when you know. Again, I know there's a flashlight sitting right here on my table. I don't believe it's there. I know it's there. Simple. I highly believe. See, you guys, you hear these things, but because you don't want to, well, see, listen, talking to deaf ears is, for the people that get it, you get it. But people want to sweep this shit away. They always say we're sweeping stuff under the rug. No. And we know that Brendan Schaub had this conversation with Denotay Wilder. Now, we all know about the heavy suit. That's why when certain people are saying, well, he never said, no, yes, he did say that shit. And JD's even said, I think maybe the suit might have been too heavy. I don't know. We got to check into that because, there's a long walk to the ring. But that's neither here nor there. But bottom line, now Brendan Schaub, the same guy that was sitting there laughing and talking shit about AJ and praising Wilder, now listen to what he's saying. So I know people are going to say, oh, but he just said Fury's his favorite fighter. So fucking what? So what? Fury was his favorite fighter when he was sitting there clowning AJ and talking shit about AJ. But now the shoe's on the other foot, though. Now you hear what's being said, right? So now, again, is Brendan Schaub now a piece of shit and against Wilder now? Everybody's a hater now? I believe right now, if Rosa Parks was alive and she was trying to free people from being slaves and slavery was going on, I believe you'd have slaves going, oh, Rosa Parks, stop hating. Let us be slaves if we want to. It's unbelievably ridiculous the way people think nowadays. Anyway, let's proceed.
The reason why the side of my face swelled up in an egg-weight form.
You don't think it was the punches? You don't think it was the repeated punches in the face?
As well. But in the midst of it all, you still couldn't keep this king down. You would have had to kill me. In the end, it took a crab in a bucket referee and a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in just to stop me.
Come on.
This guy's
Proverbs
ego,
6, chapter 30, 31st says, excuses may be found from a thief who steals.
Bro, you're the only one giving us excuses.
But if he is caught, he will have to pay back.
Again. And I'm glad Brandon Schaub reacted to that. He said, Proverbs says, excuses may be found in the thief. Who the fuck is making excuses other than Wilder? Now, I can imagine him saying that and his little sheep sitting there going, But who is making excuses? Other than Denotay Wilder, tell us what excuse Tyson Fury made. Tyson Fury said, yeah, I had something loaded in my gloves, 275 pounds of dynamite or something to that effect. The only person making excuses other than Wilder, well, it's his fanboy channels. What excuses are what is see, this word salad can fuck y'all up when y'all sheep because y'all don't think, well, damn, Wilder, how intelligent do you have to be to realize? Well, damn, Wilder, I can't agree with that. Nobody else is making excuses as far as the fighters are concerned except for you. You don't hear Shelly Finkel talking about this shit. You don't hear Eddie Hearn. You don't anybody. You don't hear nobody else. In the fighters that are even talking about it. And see the race card shit and all that is so fucked up, man. It's so fucked up because a lot of people just speak just to be, I'm gonna take the side of the person from my country or whatever. And wrong is wrong. I mean, if any of you got kids, understand something. If you saw your kid being mistreated because of his or her skin color, then you see exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes you to be in that position to really feel it. But if you have any morals, if you have any decency about yourself, if you just love human beings and you're not racist yourself, then it's easy to see. But if you have to debate and try to make stupid ass excuses to try to make a point, then the people that do that are letting you know that they're racist as fuck as well. So that's why they can relate to that shit. But all of this shit that he just said, come on, man. Proverb says excuses will be found in the thief. Well, I guess he's a fucking thief because he's the only one making excuses. Let's proceed.
7 times what he stole, even if he had to sell everything in his house. And payback is coming.
Why is he always trying to speak in parables, man? Like, that shit is impressive. He got a little soundtrack, a little bullshit soundtrack and everything. And y'all still don't see the theatrics of this shit. He said he wanted to be an actor, right? All right, let's proceed and let the video play out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to see. It's a bummer to see. You know, you can't say your coach is disloyal when he's so worried about you because you're getting your ass whipped so bad. He throws in the towel because he wants to watch you fight another day and make another big payday and fight, you know, in the rubber match or something like that if it were to ever come. So it's just, this isn't the way to handle a loss, man. There could have been, I've never seen someone deal with loss worse in my life. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Me neither.
What else you got, Jen?
Everyone agrees that it was like a great stoppage by his coach.
Yes.
His cornerman.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is...
I'm assuming he fired his corner, A, because they're saying, hey, that we would make the same decision if this were to happen again, and B, just got outclassed. So I think Wilder's chalking them up to him not being ready, having a bad game plan, throwing in the towel. So he's looking for a new team at his age, and to get those fundamentals together to beat Fury, that ain't happening. He'll never
Or did I not say that?
It seems like a little bit of denial, too. Like he's just finding some sort of excuse to so it's not him that actually lost that fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and which shows me
And it's
that you're not taking
bit.
ownership, which means you're not going to learn from it. And
Nope.
then so this can be the same outcome.
Everything they're saying, I've said a million times already.
Great guy, though. That sucks.
I love Wilder.
I know.
I freaking love Wilder. But this is...
And you see, this is the whole thing. This is not about hating or disliking Wilder. This is about the truth. It's as simple as that. But you hear what Brandon Schaub is saying. Now, if you didn't just hear him say that, even if him saying that, people are still going to go, my motherfucker don't like Wilder. First off, nobody has to like anybody. But you heard what he just said. But yet, coming from me or other boxing channels, it's hate. There's people who don't like the motherfucker. There's people who don't like AJ. There's people who don't like motherfucking Andy Ruiz. There's people who don't like Errol Spence. There's people who don't like Josh Taylor. There's always somebody who, for whatever stupid bullshit reason, don't like a person. I'll always tell you, I don't know any of these motherfuckers personally to say I like them. Now, as a person, I don't know them. To say, and I'm not a fan. I just appreciate and respect, and there's certain fighters that I like more than other fighters. It's as simple as that. But you heard what he just said. So why is it when it comes from a boxing channel, though, it's like, oh, they all hate it. And I'm pretty sure people are saying the same shit about Brandon Schaub. But like he said, great guy. I love him, though, man. But this is not the way. So this is my point. If you feel like you have to cater to people and bite your tongue because, they're going to feel some kind of way, so be it. Sometimes people don't understand what you're doing now, but they see it later. Sometimes they never see it. It's just like when you have kids and you're looking out for their best interests and you know better than they do at that time. And you know what happens later on is usually when your parents get old and gray or they're no longer around. That's when the kid realizes. Or when they have kids and their kids start doing the same things that they were doing. Then they go, damn, now I see what Pop was saying and what Mama was saying. This is not about hatred to it. Now, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, I can't speak for nobody but me, and I'm pretty sure that, like I said, there's people who don't like, there's always somebody who don't like somebody. You got motherfuckers who hate me for telling the truth, but I don't care about what any of you feel. Like I always say, you don't like what I say, do something about it. Simple. At the end of the day, coming from me, this is not about hating or disliking anybody. I'm speaking of what I know based on what I'm hearing. So if what I know is not accurate, then that means you motherfuckers are lying. Because this is what I'm going by. I'm not going by, I don't like this guy. No. Never. But this is what you do. You tell the truth of how you feel. Not sit and alter your shit and cater your shit to fit in. I'm never going to do that. And I'm glad that Brandon's not doing that shit. And I don't agree with everything Brandon says. But this right here, I agree with. Because this is what it's about. You're making excuses. We all look. And the thing is, we want to see Wilder get better. That's the whole thing. We want to see him be able to go in there and compete and look like something. Not just a fucking one-trick pony. And whoever don't understand that, that's too bad for you. Let's proceed.
This ain't the way to go, my man. This just ain't the way to go.
Okay, I just saw this. I don't know what this is about, but Rachel Ostovich posted this on her Twitter. Everyone begging for an OnlyFans better show out when I drop this project I've been working on. It's hot, LOL.
All these incels are trying to get like Paige Van Zandt, Rachel Ostovich to do OnlyFans. Listen, I would imagine Rachel Ostovich would make more.
Okay, so that's it about Wilder. This is the first time I watched the whole video. I watched maybe like the first 2 minutes of it the first time. This video was cut into like 8 minutes and 23 seconds. There's a much longer version of it. But this is the first time I watched this whole thing. So it's Rachel, whatever you talk about. Cut that part out. That's that. So anyway, I wanted you guys to hear this for yourselves. And I want you guys to understand something. When you feel like you have an ally, and you know, I don't see Brandon Schaub like, oh, he's turncoating on Wilder. He's speaking what he feels. Everybody who's thinking logically is saying the same things. This is not the way to go, man. But I'm not going to sit here like I'm not begging Wilder to do anything. I really don't give a shit what any of these guys do. I'm speaking on what they do. It's not what I want you to do. But yeah, as far as one, yeah, I would love to see that brother get his skills up. But at the same time, am I supposed to want for him something more than what he wants for himself? So it's not about, like, it's not going to bother me either way what he does. But as a fight fan, someone who, as a fighter, and as someone that loves fighting and watching fights, let me put it that way, it's more enjoyable to be able to watch two guys go in there and can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for the longest time, this is what I've been hearing people saying. But you have, and the people who misconstrue shit are the people who simply can't understand it. You don't see a fighter the way they want you to see that fighter. And when you're being realistic about, you know, where that person stands, like even, for example, we were talking about the ranking system, but I said Wilder's last fight was a loss. He got beat up badly. How in the fuck can any fighter keep a top spot over guys who are winning fights? Because people were saying he should still be ranked higher than Anthony Joshua. Why the fuck would he be ranked higher than Anthony Joshua? When Anthony Joshua lost his title, he had a rematch clause. He came back, he got his title in stunning fashion, outboxed my man for 12 rounds and made him look stupid. Wilder goes out and gets knocked out. He's yet to avenge that loss. So how does he just hold on to a spot? And this is the thing. If let's say Pulev beats AJ, how far down in the rankings he goes after that initial loss, we don't know. But let's just say Dillian Whyte wins his fight. Then Dillian Whyte goes out and become WBC champion or something. How in the fuck am I going to say, oh, AJ should still be ranked higher than Dillian? Yeah, he beat Dillian when they fought. That was a while ago, and that has nothing to do with currently right now, where they're standing. So no, he shouldn't be ranked over him if that happens. No. How? And if I can sit here and say that, why is it that you guys are sitting here mad because they're like, oh, but Wilder went down. Wilder should be at least in the top two. Do you know how stupid that sounds? So when you talk like that, we can't even have a conversation. Like, really, I'm not even going to respond to that. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know, and these are the people that constantly just make stupid comments. And then it gets to the point where I just block you from my channel because it's like, you're not even making sense. You're not even here to have adult conversation. You're here to just be stupid. And I'm not going to deal with that bullshit. So, I believe in this, man. For every fighter that lacked something. Look, guys like Margarito was constant pressure. He wasn't really a hard puncher. He was a volume puncher, constantly on you, punching. Iran Barkley wasn't the most skilled guy, but he was the guy that came and just kept coming. But he couldn't box. You know, but people was like, Iran Barkley was a guy that he got their respect. Roberto Duran, all he knew was how to try to take your head off. Okay, he wasn't a boxer. He was just a straight mauler, man. A guy like Thomas Hearns who could box. And he could box on the back foot, or he could come forward, he could knock you out. He had power, he had speed, he had, great technical boxing ability. He was a well-rounded fighter, but he didn't have the best chin in the world. But he had heart. There's always something that you can look, and it's not that you're looking for, something that you see. You understand what I mean? And, when a guy who has far better boxing skill than his opponent gets knocked out, that's part of the game, because it's like, hey, well, look, my best chance to win this fight is to get inside and try to knock this guy out, not to try to stay on the outside and try to outbox him. If that's not your game, then what are you doing? Imagine Shaquille O'Neal trying to shoot three pointers, playing outside the perimeter. You'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, Shaq? You understand what I'm saying? And why do I make that comparison with Shaq? If anybody going, but why would you even say it? Because look at Tim Duncan, 7'1". That motherfucker could shoot bank shots. He had the best off the glass shot I've ever fucking seen. He could shoot jumpers. He could shoot long jumpers. Tim Duncan was a complete beast, man. You know what I'm saying? But him and Shaq were two different people. Just because it worked for Tim don't mean it's going to work for Shaq. Patrick Ewing with the fadeaway jumper, not always in the paint necessarily, but had it's what I'm saying. When you a one-trick pony, when you have one, I always tell y'all this, when you have one gear, it's easier for somebody to call your number because they see what you're going to do already. They already know what you're going to do. You understand what I'm saying? They know what is your only chance to win. It's like Superman fighting Batman. Without kryptonite, Batman don't have a chance. It's simple. even with his special made suit, right? Without kryptonite, he don't have a chance. It's as simple as that. You can't fight a fight that doesn't work for you, lose, and then act like you don't know what went wrong. So pretty much what we've been wanting to see was Wilder improve, but it's up to him. Berman Stavern was a guy, I remember people talking about Berman could box, and I watched Berman Stavern fight, and I'm like, yeah, he's all right, man. People take that as hate, so be it. I'm just being honest. I never was impressed by Berman Stavern. Never, ever. And Berman Stavern, when he won the title, I remember him fighting Chris Arreola twice. And both times, Chris Arreola was beating him, outboxing him, and got knocked out. Both fights. Now, Chris Arreola was a contender, never a champion. And his style of fighting, it takes toll faster, man, than the guy who likes to box and move. And pretty much I was never really impressed. Chris Arreola, he was as good as he was, put it like that. There was never anything where I felt like he was going to be a special fighter or he was going to go to different heights. It's just what I saw him have is pressure. When he was younger, he just had his youth to where, because he fought Klitschko. And I remember people thinking but Klitschko didn't knock him out. Berman knocked him out. Yeah, well, also Klitschko got the better version of Berman Stavern. But I never saw Berman Stavern the way certain people did. Now, if you look and compare Berman Stavern to Luis Ortiz, who do you think was a better fighter? I believe Luis Ortiz beats Berman Stavern 10 times out of 10. Now, you saw Luis Ortiz's performance against Wilder. Now, compare Berman Stavern's. He was the champ, and Wilder just walked backwards all night, just throwing a long shot, putting the stick in his face, right hand, and pretty much he couldn't even handle that. And of course, he said he was dehydrated and all this other shit. And then the next fight, he got obliterated. So, I mean, to sit and say a fighter is such and such status and he's this and he's that because that's what people want you to say, come on, what does that do? What does it accomplish? You're certainly not going to get that from me. So at the end of the day, when I'm looking at any fighter, I always say Errol Spence. Whoever Errol Spence fight, I'm going with Errol Spence. That's who I want to see win. But you've heard me say, Errol Spence, for some reason, fight guys, when he fight a shorter fighter, he loves to fight on the inside when he doesn't need to. That's just the way he likes to fight. He makes the fight harder than it needs to be. And I believe strongly if he would have fought Sean Porter behind the stick, he would have beat Sean Porter. Like, easy. Like, he would have outboxed Sean, timed him, had him running the shit. But, hey, I can't say he can do something that I don't see him do. You know, he showed you he can box when he fought Mikey Garcia. Like, you can see he got skills, but I see he has impatience. He likes to get in and just try to get you out of here. So he'll eat more shots than he needs to just to land one hard one. Shane Mosley used to do that shit. Come in, you know, getting hit with, like, come on, Shane, stop that sloppy defense. Like, so basically, you know, I'm saying these things because this is what I see. I'm not going to sit here and oh, yeah. Errol Spence don't make no mistakes. Nah, he don't need to get better and improve. No. So if I'm saying this, it's just that when you say it about Wilder, people just feel like you can talk about any fighter, but not Wilder. Wilder, you have to say he's perfect, and no, I don't have to say shit. I say what I want to say. But one thing for me, I'm not spiteful, and I'm not going to say something just to say it. You need, like Michael Morris said, you need to learn how to box, homie. Simple. And at his age, for y'all that keep thinking some miracle's going to happen, all of a sudden he's going to pick up these extra skills, listen, and I'm saying this shit, and I've said it before, and I mean this. If Wilder decides to get back in the ring, we're going to see the same old shit. The same old Wilder we've always seen. This guy's not going to all of a sudden just end up adding all these skills that he hasn't had all his career. It just don't happen that way, man. It's not going to be no late bloomer situation. Even like with Lennox Lewis and Emmanuel Stewart. Lennox Lewis I'll consider him a late bloomer. But Lennox didn't have a problem with adjusting. He had the ability to box. And he used his jab. Emmanuel taught him how to use it and work off of it. How to give movement with that jab. Not stand there and bang when you don't need to. You know, get in there, get a motherfucker out there, put that heat on him. But he learned, pop that jab all night. Start everything with the jab. Stay behind that jab. And Lennox Lewis turned into the total package. He was a complete fighter. That's not Deontay. And if you remember some years ago, Lennox Lewis and Deontay Wilder was in that parking lot, and he was trying to teach him how to throw a jab. And remember what Wilder said, you know, you got yours, man. I'm just trying to get mine. And he's like, you'll get it, you know. And he said he was teaching him, when you throw the jab, instead of bringing it from here, keep the jab out. You already closed half the distance, so now you just, boom. The jab is not to knock a person out. You understand what I'm saying? Even though you do have guys that have powerful jabs. The Charlos showed you that shit. You know what I'm saying? They have very powerful jabs. There's certain people that can knock you out with a jab. But I'm just saying, yeah, I've seen people get dropped with the jab, seen them get hurt really bad with the jab, body shot, head shot, whatever. You have different types of jabs. You know, Ali had that flicking jab. Larry Holmes had a stiff jab. Lennox Lewis, his jab, he kind of stepped with it, like, you know, and he's heavy, so he would step, and, you know, he get his weight behind his shots. You know, the Charlos, both of them, solid jabs. You know, George Foreman had a solid hard jab. You know, there's, you know, it's preference and what people like and what people like to do, how they like to, you know, throw their shots. And you remember how Ali threw his hooks, how he kind of slapped at him, and you know what I mean? When Ali was younger, he threw shots harder than as he started to get older. And Ali started, you know, standing more toe-to-toe with guys because he couldn't dance anymore like he used to. You know, but the thing is, he realized that he could if he needed to. And he did. He did it very well. So these guys already knew how to fight, though. Deontay, you haven't seen development in his game. And this is what people are overlooking. So if they take that as hate, so be it. And like I said, I really don't give two shits. But I'm just being real, man, and honest about what I see. So instead of these, you know, idiots who sit there sucking their thumbs, watching these videos, rolling their eyes and shit, you need to understand where we're coming from is a place called realness. You guys are coming from fantasy land, trying to give him skills that he doesn't have, trying to tell us what we see is not what we really see. he's really fighting better than what we realize. No, he's not. What he did with what his limited ability got him as far as it got him. And when he came up against a real test, you saw what happened. And this is what I'm saying. So whether it's Dylan White, whether it's Anthony Joshua, whether it's Daniel Dubois, trust me, it's only going to get harder. So y'all keep talking that shit about, oh, Fury did it, but AJ and them can't. Well, why would you even have to say Fury beat him, but AJ can't, if y'all feel that Fury cheated in the first place? The guy just got outboxed. He couldn't get out of the way of nothing. And that's exactly the same Wilder that I expect to see in the next fight. And the next fight. And the next fight, if he decides to get back in there. And to be honest with you, if he's not feeling boxing anymore, if he's really feeling discouraged or feeling some kind of way, and he feel like he want to get even with Fury through a lawsuit, he probably shouldn't get back in the ring. Because it's not just a Fury thing. Somebody else will fuck him up. And I'm being honest with y'all. Daniel Dubois, in terms of his recognition, yeah, I agree. He has to fight after he beats after he fights Joe Joyce. I expect him to win that fight. And I think he's going to maul Joe Joyce. I don't care how the fight starts. I think Daniel Dubois is going to wind up battering Joe Joyce. He goes on from there, and let's just say, even like a guy like F.A. Jumbo, who's a newer, younger, like a newer fighter. Let's say Daniel Dubois decides, you know what, I'm gonna fight him and get him out of there. You know, people are gonna have to take notice and like, damn, okay, hold up. I believe Daniel Dubois is going to be one of those guys that people want to avoid fighting. Now, I can see the skills of that guy. And to be honest with you, for all y'all talking all this shit about, you know, oh, Deontay would knock him out easy and all. Okay, right. The same way he knocked out Molina after 9 rounds, Duhampas, Gerald Washington. There's some other names too. The same way he knocked them out, took him all night and was getting outboxed. You guys sleep, but Daniel Dubois is my pick to be the next big thing in heavyweight division, man. That's my pick. Over Oscar Rivas, over Helenius, over Kalnaki, over all of them. I'm saying I think Daniel Dubois is going to be that guy. He stay focused and stay hungry. That guy is vicious, and I love watching Daniel Dubois fight. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, we just want to see these fighters develop. And that's the whole thing. We want to see Deontay get better. We want to see him be able to go in there and, like I said, and look worth of shit. Not just, oh, he got the right hand. That's all you ever hear, the right hand. His left hand ain't shit. His left hand ain't shit. He got to hurt you with the right, with the straight right first. He might finish you. He might finish you with the left hook. But the left hook, as far as him hurting you with it, his left hand ain't shit. It's all the right hand. And I get so sick of hearing the right hand, because we know that already. We just feel like, bruh, you need to show us more. You want to do it for yourself, not us. You want to do it for yourself. Because if you're doing it for you and you take it serious, we get the benefit of watching a great fight and seeing a fighter develop and becoming to a great fighter who has an all-around skill, who can go in there and can hold his own and not get there and lose every fucking round and just land a shot. So anyway, it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say in this video. And listen, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next one.